I'd like to call the June 17th Board of Public Works and Safety meeting to order. We will begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. Andrea Smith.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Roll call, okay. Do you usually do?
Oh,
Why are we doing roll call? Member Romine?
Here, present.
Mayor Dermody?
present.
Member Kosher?
Absent.
Two present, one absent.
Approval of minutes. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
I will second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Public comment, I have one. For the record, when you come forward, state your name and address for the record. It is not a question and answer, and there is a 3-minute limit. And Dean White, please come forward.
Good morning. Dean White, 3066 North Highway 35, Porte, Indiana. I have an issue that I've brought up to the building department. It's the Indiana Department of Transportation large orange sign at the 700 block, as well as on the 600 block that says end construction, as well as the 800 block that says end construction. And those signs have been there for almost 2 months. I've talked to the building department. They said that they're waiting for an inspection. And they said, well, maybe as a business owner, it'd be a good idea for you to go to the Indiana Department of Transportation and complain, and that would help. I said, I have property at 1306 Lincoln Way. I've complained for almost 2 years about an issue that the Indiana Department of Transportation. You think they're going to listen to me? So I'm coming to you to see what you can do to get rid of it. The signs, it's unsightly. It's right in front of the business at 703 Lincoln Way.
Thank you.
Thank you.
When you guys have your update meeting on Indiana Ave, maybe mention that to the state.
Yep, we can do that for sure. And they were doing work, I believe, yesterday on some of the striping.
Yep.
So that's the thing that holds up removing the construction signs. A lot of times is either warranty work or coming back, or the multi-component striping takes multiple series of being out there. And they want to make sure that workers, and then also when they do their final walkthrough, the NDOT inspectors are safe. So signs do lag longer than we realize because we think the project is over, but we can definitely mention it to them and see if they can do anything about it.
Thank you. Anything online?
Nothing online yet, Mayor.
Clerk Treasurer Parthun.
Okay, we have civil city payroll from 6/6 in the amount of $568,073.37.
Make a motion to approve.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes.
Civil city claims in the amount of $589,828.43.
Make a motion to approve.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes.
Sewage claims in the amount of $525,153.28.
Make a motion to approve.
Second. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes.
Water claims in the amount of $217,981.05.
Make a motion to approve.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes.
I also have an NDOT invoice for the local tracks project. We are asking for board approval on that. Do you have that in front of you? In the amount of $2,318,473.03.
Make a motion to approve.
Second. Discussion. This is the overpass as that continues.
Is that what it is?
Further
Local tracks?
discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Department head reports. Jess Poljarek. Tim Werner, Water.
Thank you and good morning to the board. I just wanted to give an update on a few projects that the water department has going on. We'll be out on the Fire Station Training Center, preparing that site this week for excavation next week to run the water main for the training center. That work should take about a week. And then our permit is good on the 20th for the 11th Street project. We'll be waiting for Milestone to mill that. That way we can get in there and complete that main replacement. That should start the week of the 4th or maybe after the week of the 4th. Both those projects should take about a week or two each to complete. And that's all I had this morning.
You mentioned Milestone. We have received quite a few compliments on the paving process they did, so
Yeah, they do a nice job.
congratulations to all of you. Jerry Jackson, wastewater.
Just to report, we received the electric runabout. The electric, kind of like a Cushman mini truck for the treatment plant that the operators, this is part of the grant for electric vehicles, and that came in yesterday. I took it for a drive, inspected, looks really good. Looks like a device, it's very simple. It has a potential to last many years, so I think it's gonna turn out to be a good buy.
Nick Minnick, engineering.
I did want to mention, we issued a notice to proceed. We issued a notice to proceed for Dogwood Hills Nursery. Board of Works had accepted their bid and awarded a contract for about 80 trees, and then we lost our grant. So in losing our grant, we work with Dogwood Hills. They've been an excellent supplier of trees for us. The quality of their trees is great. They do a great job making sure that they survive. We've been very, very pleased, and we hate to kind of just stick it to a good supplier like that already had the 80 trees ready to go for us. So they were able to find homes for most of them, but we are going to use some other tree funds we have to plant 18 of those 80 trees and try and make sure that we're, meeting our commitments to our suppliers when we can and being a good partner. But I did want to mention that we issued the notice to proceed for just the 18 instead of the 80. I think board approved 80, and then we had the issue with the grant.
The federal grant was revoked.
Exactly.
So we have in the budget,
We have some tree planting dollars in the budget, and we've got some other funds we're trying to kind of move around and figure out how to make sure we at least get those 18, which I believe that's kind of the number that Jordan at Dogwood Hills said, yeah, I found homes for the rest of them. If you could take these, this would help him not have to,
eat the cost.
yeah.
And how much is that? Total roughly?
I don't have the cost in front of me right now, but I can get that to you and email it out.
Do you know approximately?
Original order,
Yeah, 22% of the original order, which was 50,000.
around 50, yeah.
Yeah, so we're looking at, maybe $10,000 in trees.
Nick, I had a question. I see on social media, and of course, I drive on Indiana Ave every day. Obviously, a lot of trees were taken out.
Yeah.
Will the stumps be removed as a part of the construction process?
They will. They didn't go through and remove all the stumps because those trees are being removed because they need to be removed as part of the construction process. So when they come through to put in a new sewer lateral or put in a new, water service line or a main or whatever it may be, those stumps will be removed during that process. So they will be there. It made a lot more sense for the company to mobilize and take them all out at once.
Right.
And having, holes where the trees were seemed less safe than having the stumps remain until they came through construction and cleared those out. And I have gotten a lot of questions where people somehow think that our federal grant for trees is somehow associated with Indiana Ave. It is not at all. Indiana Ave is a state project using state and federal money, a little bit of city money for various things. Trees are covered in that state and federal money. So trees that came out, trees will go back, and that is not at all affected by our loss of our urban forestry grant.
I also did drive down Madison quite a bit. We've had some trees taken out on that. I assume that's part of there's sidewalk improvements and some other
Yes.
things going
Yeah.
on there. I can't help but notice, I bet half of those trees are hollow. It was shocking to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's just a matter of time, right, before a tree like that falls.
It is, and we're working really hard, the street department's working really hard to that the grant would have really helped us turn a corner on being able to remove those hazard trees. We use other programs when we can. Our tree canopy is really important for the health of our city, and hopefully we can work with the feds to get that grant back, or they put that grant out every year. They probably will still put it out, so maybe we can get it the next round.
Doesn't matter if they put it out if they don't pay for it. Where is Dogwood Hills located?
Dogwood Hills
St. Joe
is-
County?
I believe it's St. Joe County. It's one of the closest kind of production nurseries we have. So we're really lucky to have a really high-quality nursery like that close by.
Because and also I think it's important for our congressional delegation to be aware of how they're affecting small business. And, they bring inventory in based on the funds that come from the federal departments, and then they're stuck holding inventory, which isn't easy, so,
Yeah.
Yeah, they're in Middlebury, Mayor.
okay. Clerk Treasurer Parthone.
I do have a couple things today. So you will all notice that we have a new agenda format, and that's going to be across the board. Annette, Jess Bruder, and I have been working on complying with House Bill 1509 that states that as of July 1st, all appointments for any board or commission have to be listed on the public notice. Most of our public notices are our agendas, so you'll notice the new template. Enjoy. Thanks to Jess. Oh, Spoljaric, I'm sorry I said Bruder. I'm really sorry. And then secondly, we are wrapping up our State Board of Accounts audit. It's in review status. You'll hear more soon.
Great.
Legal, code
Nothing.
enforcement.
Yeah, last night at the council, we brought up about the dumpster program. It's worked excellent, but we made a couple changes where a couple weeks ago on Saturday, we had two U-Haul trucks come in and unload their stuff at the dumpsters, so it filled them all up within a couple hours. Usually takes about 5 hours to take and fill them up. So that's one of the changes. Another one is that you can only dump once a day. And then the last one, of course, no businesses or contractors can use our dumpsters.
So don't abuse the program. Allow everyone in our community to enjoy it.
Right.
Hey, Jeff, I got a question real quick. I saw a complaint about being able to throw stuff into the dumpsters. Is the public aware that the back doors of those dumpsters do open up if they're not full all the way so they can carry stuff in?
Well, I'm sure some don't know that, but sometimes it's not a good idea to open it because they open it and then they can't get it shut.
Yeah, okay.
But last night at the council meeting, I told them that just contact me and I'll make sure somebody's out there to help them.
Assistant Chief Ferguson.
The department will be posting something on Facebook here in the next couple of days for a one-day hiring process to fill a vacancy on our department. We thought we had that vacancy filled, but some things fell through, so we'll be posting that on our Facebook page. And also, the department has created, and we're going to host this year, the first annual Police Youth Field Day at Kessling Football Field. It will be August 16th. I believe it's from 10 to 2. We're going to partner with Michigan City Police Department, LaPorte County Sheriff's Department, where we're going to partner youth ages 10 to 17 with an officer from each respective department, and we're going to go head-to-head in obstacle courses, ring toss, dodgeball, stuff like that, and at the end, we'll be presenting a trophy. We want this to be something that's going to be annual and have a kind of a traveling trophy for everybody, so it's a new idea. It's replacing our rescue reelers. In the past, we had the fishing out at the property off Boyd. This is going to replace that. We think we're going to get a lot better reaction, a lot more involvement with this, so we're excited about that.
Excellent. Chief Snyder.
Just to let the board know that we did receive a small grant from the Health Foundation of LaPorte for $9,949 to continue our vehicle safety seat program. That's been in effect for several years, but we have been short on funds, so this is something that probably will keep us enough car seats, booster seats through at least the next year. So very happy to get that, and
You hand them out.
we hand them out. It also comes with instructions to parents or prospective parents, grandparents, as to the proper installation. It's not as easy as what you might think. Those guys that are the technicians go through a 32-hour course just to learn how to show proper installation. So, yeah.
Should've probably
I've had to
taken
put
that.
them in recently. It's about 32 hours to install one properly.
IT.
Nothing to report, sir.
Planning.
Nothing to report.
Streets.
We're gonna start road painting this week, getting ready for the 4th. Patching, finishing watering cuts and watering trees.
Andrea Smith. Okay, as we prepare for new business on Jim Roy Day, I want to thank Jim Roy. Everybody asked about the flags downtown. Pretty neat that for over 24, or at 24 years, he has supplied flags to LaPorte, Michigan City, and very patriotic of him, and really adds a lot of flavor for July 4th parade. So today is Jim Roy Day, and if you see him, thank him for his commitment to our community. New business, request for half-day.
Morning. So it's hard to believe that we're looking at the LaPorte County Fair coming up in a couple weeks, and I'm here on behalf of our employees to request a half-day so that our employees can attend the fair.
Make a motion to approve.
I will second that. I think this has been very positive for our employees. It is a half-day to go to the fair, not just a half-day, correct? I think,
And it's for full-time employees.
full-time. Further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Dragon Boat Race, that's just around the corner as well.
We, so I don't know how many years they've been doing this, several. I always like to mention that the city of LaPorte won the inaugural Dragon Boat Race. I have the medal to prove it. And so they've got their request for closure. They work with the park department. You know, it takes up the whole beach area. They close a section of Grangemouth.
Do I have a
For
motion?
the one day, sorry.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second, discussion? Dunebrook, thanks for all that they do. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes.
Thank you.
Nick Minnick, Lincoln Walk.
We did receive some feedback from Indiana Department of Transportation. We did receive feedback from Indiana Department of Transportation regarding our permit for the Lincoln Walk project. They'd like to have essentially a maintenance agreement, an MOU for maintenance that will remove the bollards from November 1st to May 1st for plowing operations. We're installing those on butyl pads, so it's just basically a super strong sticker. So I don't think it'll be an issue to remove those and then replace them in the spring with new butyl pads and pylons. We'll want to touch up paint and things like that on a regular basis anyway. So I would recommend that we, enter into this agreement with NDOT to allow that to move forward.
Make a motion to approve.
Second, Lincoln Walk is here. This is important. It's going to be a way to start reforming our downtown. Do we expect this to begin as early as this week, next week?
I got a text from our contractor last night saying, "Can I go?"
Good.
So yeah, he's hoping to get it started as soon as we get that permit from NDOT, and wanted to make sure that it was obviously in time for 4th of July, but we're well ahead of that.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. Jerry Jackson.
Got a proposed change order for Indiana Avenue. This is primarily changes in the storm system. There are two larger, deeper connections off the storm system onto Weber and Kingsbury. That's for future sewer separation work. A better connection at Jefferson in Indiana here. They missed a storm drain, and the way they've connected is improved now. And then the big dollar one is the connection to the Lincoln Way storm sewer instead of going in the alley, the south of Lincoln Way. The alley south of Lincoln Way is a brick sewer. It just caved in just the other day, and it's not an appropriate place to make storm connections. This would take that storm flow out to Lincoln Way and tie into a bigger concrete sewer that's in good shape. The wastewater portion of this is $151,585.69. That's 7.7% of the contract. The water connection, the water part of this is $10,086.10, and that changes connections down at Kingsbury Avenue to make a future extension up Kingsbury Avenue more feasible. That's 3.2% of their contract. This was a bit of a struggle to get through, getting engineering review and the NDOT review, but we've got there, and I think it's well worth spending the money.
Make a motion to approve.
Second. Discussion.
One more comment, we're still well below our original budgeted amount for this project. The bids came in under, and we're well under that now, even with the change order.
Do you know how much we're below?
We had budgeted 2.3 million, and the bids came in at 1.9. And so I think we're just over 2 with this, so we're still a few $100,000 below our estimate.
And the 151 portion is coming from stormwater?
We've been paying.
Oh, the ban.
The ban,
Okay.
yeah, we've been paying all these out of the ban.
Got it.
So I do have a motion and a second. I assume Indiana Ave, it was asked last evening, is on schedule from the state?
Somebody from the city will know in 9 minutes. When the progress meeting that always falls the same time a Board of Works starts.
That's what I said last night.
Yeah.
So,
I've made a couple requests to change the meeting time, and they say they're gonna do it, so we'll see.
well, and again, anyone from the public can come and call your office direct, but as of last week or the last time, everything was up to date.
Yeah, I think they're moving along pretty well, close to schedule. I think they anticipated having some closures on Indiana Avenue just a little bit earlier than this, but I think they're still within their original planned schedule.
The dewatering you went and looked at last Friday, the
Geyser.
geyser, yeah, it was part of what's maybe slowing them down a little bit, because there's so much groundwater there, trying to get the pipe through.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes.
Thank you.
Matt Amor,
Matt's not here. Myself and the clerk will handle that. We're requesting that the board revoke D&M's discharge permit. They have been perpetually late with their payments. We've revoked their discharge permits just on a temporary basis at the treatment plant, I think 3 times in the last year, the 2 years rather. Right now, they're behind $7,514.38. It's become difficult to deal with the issue, just because it's last minute. Oh, I got to check after hours. Can I pay? Can I discharge? It's been a real problem trying to manage this.
I will make a motion to revoke their permit.
Second.
Discussion?
I think, Mayor, just real quick, it's not a decision that came lightly. I think it's quite a bit of discussion. It's really difficult for Jerry's staff to manage it. And I think if they end up coming back after this, I think there's some conditions that could be set for them to, if we even entertain it, so.
There's also a portion of money that they owe us that I don't know if that's part of the motion. And second, we're looking to, with City Attorney Otis's assistance, a judgment for the $7,000.
Well, we'd have to take legal action
Okay.
for that.
Okay.
So I guess that could be a separate motion. If you wish to do that, we could initiate a small claims proceeding against them for these balances.
I will amend the motion that if not paid by the end of the week, is that fair?
Yeah, no, I think.
We'll move
Look, I
forward.
mean, with any legal thing, keeping the legal costs low is important, so.
So I will amend that motion to say through Friday at 4 o'clock to pay their back
Past
invoices, past dues.
It's in the $7,000 range, is that right?
About 7,400.
7,400,
Will somebody reach out to them to say, hey, you
Will
got
do.
till Friday?
Yep.
They've received, and you had that in your packet, they've received several regular notices, final notices. It's the same as utility billing. We're setting a standard. We don't want to put people in a bad position, and at this point, we're putting ourselves in a situation where we need to not have a balance this large to have to collect, so.
Further comments?
No, I mean, these go back to 2023, correct?
The,
I mean, it's been, I would call it habitual. It's been just balances owed, balances paid, balances owed. But it's a lot of work on Matt Amor. It's a lot of work on wastewater staff, so.
Jerry, so just generally, how does somebody get charged when is it by weight? Is it by?
They come in and log in, and it's by volume.
Okay.
And they log in who they are, where the wastewater came in, and they get a ticket when they log in, and that's their bill right there.
Got it.
And then at the end of the month, Matt sends out a summary.
Okay. So it's not complicated either?
No,
Yeah.
no. And they get a ticket every time they discharge, so they know exactly what they owe.
Further comment?
No, I mean, I would just say that eventually people are usually put on COD and they're not allowed to charge any
prepaid.
right, and they have to pay right then and there, and they're not allowed to.
We discussed that option, and we don't have a way to take funds in at the wastewater plant. We just don't do that, and
We could put prepaid money on their account.
I mean, we could utilize OpenGov
Right.
for that too. That's a reason to get that process on OpenGov, because then they'd have to pay by credit card on OpenGov. It would take us out of it, put the onus on them. Yeah.
Right.
So we do have a motion, amended motion and a second, amended second.
Yes.
Further comment? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes.
I would just comment, going off of what Courtney said, obviously with water department, we've kind of went through that with purchasing water, right? I mean, it's kind of like you go to the gas station type of thing. Maybe that could be set up so that you kind of remove Matt from even having to do monthly bills.
With the Headworks project, we're doing an improved discharge station where right now we kind of go by the honor system. I got 1,000 gallons on the truck. We'll have a metering system, and that would be a good time to get the credit card implemented.
Tim, have you found that to be working pretty well?
Yeah, so the billing is gonna start at the beginning of this next month. We had some quirks to work through, but it seems like everybody's filling out the information to get the cards. Same thing, we went by the honor system, and not that we weren't having people being honest, but just it helps our staff, takes the staff out of the equation. They just put the credit card in, put in their gallons, it pumps it out, and they're on their way. Then they get a monthly statement.
Craig Phillips.
Good morning. First thing I have is the request to amend our current LPA consulting contract between the city and Rundell Ernstberger Associates for the city's comprehensive plan process. This is a request for a time-only amendment to extend the period of time for the term of the contract to no later than December 31st, 2026. The need for this extension is to allow for the city and the consultants to work with NRPC, regarding some issues that have been encountered with regard to the traffic model for the region.
Bless you.
We found that the model is not functioning appropriately for the city or the consultants, and it has put us in a position where we're going to have to extend our contract to figure this out and try to hopefully come up with a solution, work with NRPC to come up with a solution for this. And it's going to take, we anticipate, according to city engineer and our consultants, quite some time to work this out and to complete the work that needs to be done to be able to move forward with our project. But it kind of puts us in a holding pattern for the rest of the project. And so this is necessary. Like I said, this is just a time-only extension of the contract. There's no additional funds involved in this at this point. So any questions you have, I'm happy to answer.
Motion to approve.
So moved.
Second, discussion. We're working with NERC right now. We've informed them of the concerns about their plan, and we're waiting to hear answer back. And then we'll move from there. Further comment? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Assistant Chief Ferguson.
Oh, there's one more item on mine.
Oh, yes.
Sorry. So then, the other item I have for you is an amended development agreement between the city and HRKDE, the developer, and the redevelopment commission with regard to, this is related to the acquisition of property owned by the city and the redevelopment commission for what was known as Full Tilt, now is known as Pin Fusion project. The need for this development agreement came from as a request from the lender involved in the transaction, and it involves, and there was a requested extension of time related to the development agreement. As a result of that, it's necessary to revise the construction date from originally what was August 21st of this year to December 31st of this year, the construction start date, rather, to December 31st of this year, and to update the name from Full Tilt and the other partnership to the HRKDE LLC name. So it's necessary for the three-way agreement to be amended accordingly. I'm happy to answer any questions you have.
Motion to approve.
So moved.
Discussion. This is a fabulous project. The families of this community, adults of this community, it's something that's needed, and we're excited to move that forward. Further comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes.
Thank you.
Assistant Chief Ferguson.
We received an agreement from the DEA's Organized Crime Drug Enforcement Task Force for the approval of $1,500 to be used for any overtime or other authorized expenses in regards to our department's officer that is embedded with the Metro County Drug Task Force. That's to be used strictly for, like I said, overtime, other expenses in regards to a specific case or operation that they're working.
And also with some focus in the city of LaPorte.
Absolutely.
Which is, I appreciate the new leadership of using this group to focus on LaPorte, not just Michigan City. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second, discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. Other business, just our prayers go out to all the families involved in the tragic events this past weekend in Minnesota with elected officials that were murdered and were shot as well. As I said last evening, somehow, whether it's one person at a time, we got to get it together, work together, and all parties need to come together and respect each other's opinion to compromise and do the things necessary for our residents. But please stay safe to everybody, and our thoughts and prayers again to the family of Minnesota. With that, do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second, discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned. Have a great day, everybody.